Alright folks, buckle up, because today we're diving headfirst into a story so utterly bonkers, so profoundly detached from reality. It could only come from a world where common sense has been officially declared a hate crime. We're talking about police overreach, weaponized victimhood, and a level of delusion that would make a flat earther blush. This isn't just a news story, it's a cautionary tale, a clown show, and a masterclass in how easily a person's life can be turned upside down by absolutely nothing. Let's get into it.
For a handful of years now, I've made an effort to occasionally tune in, try and keep my finger on the pulse of wacky stories coming out of Australia. It's been a bit of a guilty pleasure of mine. I've just noticed some similarities between some of the crazy stories here in Florida and the weird and wild stories of Australia. One of my favorites being this almost Lord of the Rings style plot and adventure where there was a business that was illegally dumping trash. And what would happen is the service would be called upon, like in one of the cases, they were tasked with getting rid of a huge refrigerator. And the guy shows up, takes the refrigerator, walks it down the street, and then just dumps it on the street. Basically just like fucking timber tips over the fridge on the street. Just like illegally dumping their trash everywhere. And then there was a huge investigation as well as like an attempt to scam the scammer. Just stuff like that I find to be endlessly fascinating. So I like to check in occasionally, see if there's any, quirkiness like that going on there. And today, during one of my check-ins, I found something mind-boggling that I've just got to yap about.
Police have taken a young Meadowbank woman to court, alleging she left an anti-Semitic voice message for a well-known nutritionist just days after the Bondi attack. But the accused's lawyer says it was an accidental pocket dial, and the charges are a massive overreach.
Yep, in a nutshell, there is a nutritionist claiming that an empty voicemail she received was actually an anti-Semitic voicemail. She reported it to authorities because she believed in this voicemail, which has no words, no nothing, mind you, she believed she heard gunshots there in the emptiness, in the void.
Wait, hold on a second. Did I just hear that right? She
Authorities
believes
showed
she
up at
heard
this woman's house
gunshots
the
in an
next
empty
day and
voicemail
are
in the
now
void?
attempting
Folks,
to
I've heard some
charge her
stretches in
with
my
an
day. I've heard
anti-Semitic hate
politicians
crime.
promise to cut
Serena
taxes and
Norwich
increase
charged with
spending. I've heard
harassing
people
Maddie
claim kale
Sacker,
tastes good.
nutritionist of Jewish faith she'd never met but seen on TV
But
and
this
social
takes
media. The
this
alleged
takes the
offender
cakes, this
contained
takes
in a
take the
voicemail
bakery and the
1 week
entire
after the
damn
Bondi
flour
massacre.
mill. This isn't just a
Obviously, the
logical
Bondi
leap, it's a
massacre
full-blown
is a
Olympic vault over a
tragic,
canyon of
fucking
common
horrible
sense.
thing.
We're talking about a woman who
But it's
apparently
also
has
entirely
the
unrelated
auditory
to a completely
superpowers
silent
of
voicemail
a
that was
bat
accidentally
combined
left on this
with
woman's
the
phone.
interpretive skills
It
of
was,
a
by all
conspiracy
possible
theorist
accounts here,
convinced
a
the
butt dial
chemtrails
happened
are
at, I
turning
believe it was
the
1:30
frogs
a.m.
gay.
And
Empty
she didn't even know she
voicemail
had called her in the
gunshots.
first place.
Seriously,
So when
is this
authorities
woman
arrived at her
trying out
house, she
for a
didn't even know
role
what
in a
was going on. She
psychological
immediately
thriller,
gave them access
or
to her
is she
phone,
just
everything
auditioning for
like
the
that.
next season of
And
Karen
this
Gone
whole
Wild
story
Australia edition?
just seems
And the authorities,
fucking
bless their hearts,
absurd.
just ran
All
with
of
it.
the
No questions
circumstances of
asked,
this
no
case
critical thinking
point in
applied.
one direction.
It's like they heard
It
Auntie
is
say
an
down
accidental
and pretty
Serena's
D's.
lawyer noting his
And
client
so you say
who works
Semitic
at
and
Bunnings
Bondi
has a
attack and
severe
immediately
intellectual
switched off their
and
brains.
cognitive
This isn't
disability
policing, it's
supported
performance
by the
art, and the
NDIS.
performance is a
She's
tragedy
not
for the poor
anti-Semitic.
woman accused.
She doesn't even understand the conflict.
I also don't understand the conflict. This is actually a fucking nothing burger that is now positioned to maybe ruin this woman's life, all because of accidentally calling someone that she was attempting to get nutritional advice from. I can't even imagine a world where there'd be gunshots on a voicemail to intimidate her. Like, what would that even be like? She calls her up and then lets the voicemail play for 4 minutes, and then I guess at one point just like Yosemite Sam breaks out fucking, akimbo revolvers to scare her. Like, what the fuck is that? That would never happen. Or like maybe she's assuming that the gunshots she heard in the voicemail was her maybe playing like a soundboard of gunshots, or like, I don't know, playing audio from Apex Legends or something for gun sounds. Like, why would she think that there's gunshot sounds on her voicemail? That doesn't even check out logically. Why would she start shooting a gun on voicemail as a means of intimidating her? Someone she has never met before, and someone who had just previously, earlier that day, sent her text messages very politely asking for nutritional advice and seemingly looking to, pay her for nutritional advice after seeing that she has successfully done that for others. So why would her conclusion that she draws from an empty voicemail that's like 4 minutes long be, this must have been gunshots to intimidate me and scare me, this is an anti-Semitic hate crime? That's just fucking unhinged thought process.
Unhinged thought process is the understatement of the century, my friends. We're talking about a level of mental gymnastics that would win a gold medal in the delusional Olympics. Let's connect the dots, or rather, let's watch them disconnect in real time. This woman, Serena, is reaching out for nutritional advice. She's politely texting, looking to pay for a service. So her next logical step, according to this nutritionist, is to suddenly become an anti-Semitic terrorist. Butt dial her, and then somehow magically have gunshots go off in a 4-minute silent voicemail to intimidate someone she's trying to hire. Folks, if that's how she gets her clients, I'm pretty sure her business model needs some serious reevaluation. This isn't about hate. It's about projection, paranoia, and weaponizing identity politics. It's the ultimate, I'm offended, therefore you're a criminal playbook. And the fact that this is even being taken seriously by law enforcement should send shivers down your spine. It shows how easily a false accusation fueled by emotional hysteria and a complete lack of evidence can derail an innocent person's life.
It's alleged Serena sent a text to Mandy, writing, "Hey, how are you? Is this Mandy? I saw somewhere that you helped Katie from Married at First Sight with her nutrition. I was wondering if you could help me as well, Serena." Around 5 hours later, a call from Serena's number went to Mandy's voicemail. No voices were heard on the recording, but Mandy claims she heard sounds she believed were gunshots, causing her immediate fear and nervousness.
It could be a bed creaking. It could be someone snoring.
It could be a million things, the least likely being gunshots. It sounds, by all evidence here, to be an accidental butt dial. And guess what? When an accidental call comes through, you're gonna hear some weird noises and some creaks and moans and stuff like that, like you're playing fucking Amnesia, the Dark Descent or something. Because, again, it's a butt dial. It's an accident. My dad sometimes forgets to hang up the phone when we're done talking, and I'll sometimes, I don't know, out of curiosity, just continue to listen to hear what's going on around him. And that shit sounds like I've just taken a trip into his fucking gullet through the magic school bus with Miss Frizzle. I'm hearing all kinds of weird noises.
Exactly. The magic school bus analogy is spot on, because this entire situation feels like we've taken a field trip into someone's deeply disturbed imagination. Anyone who's ever had a butt dial or accidentally left a voicemail knows it sounds like a symphony of random, inexplicable nonsense. You get pocket lint rustling, car keys jingling, maybe a dog barking 2 blocks away, or your own stomach rumbling. But gunshots, that's not just a leap, that's a full-on blindfolded bungee jump off the cliff of reality. It tells you everything you need to know about the complainant's state of mind, not the accused's. When you're actively looking for malice, you'll find it in a whisper, in a shadow, in the silence of an empty voicemail. It's a classic case of confirmation bias, except instead of confirming a theory, she's confirming a phantom hate crime. This isn't just a misunderstanding, it's a dangerous precedent. It suggests that if you're sufficiently scared, or perhaps just prone to extreme exaggeration, you can conjure up a crime out of thin air, and the authorities will dutifully follow your lead. This isn't justice, it's a system being gamed by paranoia, and an innocent woman is paying the price.
But I'm not under the impression that my dad just then went into a fucking firefight or something. Like, I don't know how you even jumped to that conclusion that those noises that you were hearing in the background of an empty voicemail were gunshots. Like, I don't know how in the silence she's getting gunshots and whatever going on there. I so desperately wish they released the voicemail to the public. That is not accessible as of this moment. I don't know if it ever will be, but oh my god, fingers crossed they eventually release that. I am so curious to hear it. And the woman here that's accused of an anti-Semitic hate crime does not appear to be an anti-Semite. This appears to be a woman who had no idea of her faith or anything beforehand and had no idea what was even going on here, why she had like agents at her doorstep demanding her phone in the first place.
Saka contacted a community security group who alerted police. Serena claims the first she knew about the voicemail was when detectives arrived on her doorstep the next day. She willingly handed over her phone and gave them access to everything on it.
Until the point she was charged by the police, she did not even know that the complainant was of Jewish faith.
I imagine that's got to be the most confusing situation to be unfolding. You just now have some agents at your door demanding your phone. You give them your phone out of fear, and then you find out later that it's all because of a voicemail you didn't even know you left in the first place that is now being labeled as anti-Semitic against someone who you didn't even know was of the Jewish faith in the first place. And also, according to the reporter here, Serena is apparently someone that expresses no interest in politics or religion to begin with. So it makes even less sense why Serena would be leaving a anti-Semitic voicemail in the first place with gunshots on it to try and threaten someone that she was trying to look for help from. Nothing adds up about this. I don't understand why there are now potential anti-Semitic hate crime charges being pursued against Serena over actually fucking nothing. I have to imagine some of the authorities have taken a listen to that voicemail, right? Wouldn't they want to employ some level of common sense like, that's probably not gunshots. Like, that could be a million things, and gunshots probably isn't one of them.
This is where the rubber meets the road, isn't it? This isn't just about some overly sensitive person. It's about the authorities, the people we trust to uphold justice, apparently abandoning all pretense of common sense. I mean, have they even listened to the voicemail? Or did they just see the words anti-Semitic and hate crime and decide, yep, paperwork done, let's charge her? It's a chilling thought that our legal system, supposedly built on evidence and reason, can be so easily swayed by an unsubstantiated claim, especially when it involves buzzwords like hate crime. It feels like they're more interested in being seen as doing something, no matter how ridiculous, than actually investigating. It's the performative aspect of modern justice where optics often trump reality. If this woman has no history, no motive, and the evidence is an empty voicemail with phantom gunshots, then why are we wasting taxpayer money, police resources, and an innocent person's mental health on this? It's not about justice. It's about a system that's lost its way, chasing phantoms instead of actual criminals. And it's a slippery slope, folks, because if this can happen over an empty voicemail, what's next? A stern look? A thought crime?
This woman has no history of, like anti-Semitic hate or anything like that. I don't know. Maybe this isn't really something we should be putting time and resources into to, attempt to ruin this woman's life over what seems to be, by all evidence, an accident in the first place. Like, why is that not happening there? This makes me feel like if I traveled to Australia, walked down the street, closed my eyes, and just started pointing at people saying I imagine that they said a slur to me, I could get them in trouble.
Today, the newlywed pleaded not guilty to using a carriage service to menace, harass or offend. In these sensitive times, her lawyer stressed they weren't critical of the complainant.
I just hope police use some common sense here.
You and me both, man. I would hope common sense will prevail here. Unless that voicemail is really damning, which I doubt. It seems like a fucking butt dial at 1:30 a.m. and she started like fucking hallucinating gunshot sounds in it. I do not think this was an anti-Semitic hate crime where she left a voicemail starting, shooting guns on it to scare her for some reason.
The 26-year-old, who has also been hit with an AVO, pleaded not guilty today. The case is listed for next month when a decision will be made on whether the charge is dropped or if the matter goes to a hearing.
And you were very shocked to hear you being charged from police?
Especially like with my mental health. Just wish people could understand.
I'd never heard of an AVO before. I thought this was like a separate charge she was also given here for this voicemail. But I looked it up, and it's an apprehended violence order. And in Australia, it's used to protect someone they believe is in need of protection from like harassment, stalking, that kind of thing. So I'm assuming based on the way the reporter presents it, saying that Serena got hit with an AVO, it means that they believed Mandy was in potential danger from Serena doing something. So now they've served her an AVO to protect Mandy from Serena.
An apprehended violence order? Are you kidding me? So not only is this woman being charged with a hate crime for a silent butt dial, but now she's also got a violence order against her as if she's some kind of imminent threat. This isn't just overreach. It's a full-blown invasion of an innocent person's life, all based on what amounts to a bad hallucination. This is a perfect example of what happens when the system prioritizes feelings over facts and unsubstantiated claims over due process. They're essentially saying, we believe the complainant regardless of how utterly insane her claims are, and we're going to treat you like a dangerous criminal even without a shred of evidence. It's a legal weaponization of victimhood, and it's terrifying. This poor woman with a cognitive disability who was simply trying to get some dietary advice is now caught in a legal nightmare, branded as an anti-Semite and a potential aggressor. This isn't protecting anyone, it's persecuting someone. It's a stark reminder that in some places, simply existing and perhaps accidentally calling someone can be enough to trigger a state apparatus that seems more interested in virtue signaling than actual justice. This whole thing is a circus, and the only one getting trampled is the innocent party.
All because of an accidental fucking butt dial at 1:30 a.m. when she was looking for nutritional advice. Quite the circus, I would say here. I'm hoping the charges get dropped and that it doesn't go to a hearing for some reason, because I truly cannot imagine a world where this is an actual anti-Semitic hate crime where she was shooting a gun on voicemail to scare a nutritionist she was looking for advice from. But I guess we'll see. I'm very curious to see where it goes in a month here, to see if it does progress further. Hopefully it doesn't, but we'll see. That's really about it.
And there you have it, folks. A truly baffling, frustrating, and frankly infuriating case coming out of Australia that serves as a stark warning to us all. When common sense takes a back seat to hypersensitivity, when feelings are prioritized over facts, and when authorities are too eager to slap on a hate crime label without actual evidence, innocent lives are ruined. This isn't just about one woman in Australia, it's about the erosion of due process and the rise of weaponized outrage everywhere. What do you think? Is this justice, or is it a complete miscarriage of common sense? Let me know in the comments below. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss our next deep dive into the absurdities of modern politics and culture. Share this with anyone who needs a dose of reality, because stories like this need to be heard. Until next time, stay vigilant, stay sane, and keep fighting for common sense.